Good morning, everyone. How are you? Yeah, very good shower. Yesterday, kind of nice rains. Actually, I was waiting for the rains for almost 2 months. Every day, several times, me and Rani, actually, Rani was pushing me to somehow arrange watering the grass. Then I couldn't find anybody else. Then every time, whenever I tried to take out the hoses and connect everything, it looked like it's going to rain. So I didn't connect that. And finally, yesterday, we did that. We water all around. Then after that, it was big rain. That was kind of funny. Then I thought maybe I should have a little bit water 1.5 months back so rains could come early. It always happens like that, isn't it? And also, yesterday was kind of really a big day here. We had Peace King Cup fishing tournaments awarding ceremony. Also, we had our GPA and youth ministry organized, I think 5 or 6 different small service projects. And one of that, we were kind of cleaning up this yard and also planting some new flowers. And no flowers, planting plants. Okay. Then so many of those things. Then we had a one-day workshop with 2 or 3 new guests. And Dr. Balkamp and Dr. Kim was here, and they suddenly just went into the workshop. And so new guests, they didn't understand. But when I say, oh, this is our continental director, they can, what is that? Those kind of terms are not so familiar with new guests or other people. So anyway, but it was kind of really quite good. Then yesterday they started this Ocean Peace Summit that's still going on. Any of you get a chance, please, this afternoon, please visit them. And they are in a nearby hotel. And yeah, it was kind of very kind of rewarding feeling after the end of the day, even though very tired. Rani was complaining she's having a lot of backache after kind of digging for the plants. It's good. Thank you for all of you who were kind of preparing the banquet and people who attended the Peace King Cup tournament. Everything really nice. Let's give a big round of applause to everyone. And I went there and I caught no fish. Oh, yeah, that's true. I think maybe nobody else got a snail on the fishing. I was too patient. Maybe that's why I was kind of, without moving that, I kept it for a long time. That's why one snail could come and caught onto the hook. When I was so surprised, and Mr. Burns was teasing me a lot, but he didn't also get anything. Our boat was no fish. Everyone talking about what kind of fish everyone gets. Somebody said bluefish, somebody said striped bass, and I said, I got no fish. Yeah, but it was very fun, very nice experience. In the last several weeks, we were talking about tribal messiahship. And except last week, Rani gave a Mother's Day sermon. And otherwise, for several weeks, we were kind of thinking about what is tribal messiahship, trying to study about that a lot, and also trying to find out how we all should be creating our tribes and be able to successfully do our tribal messiahship and home church activities. And that's actually today's Hunduke passage. Read that we all should keep the original Garden of Eden in our heart, which is the ideal of God. And also it says, every day we sing songs of life, love and glory. Every day we should sing that to God as well as to everyone. So that other people can see that we live in that reality. We are striving, we are walking towards that. We are achieving that every day. through different kinds of activities in our life. It's like yesterday we had so many different kinds of activities. No matter what we do, even though we may not even physically come here, and even though we may be working, but every day and every minute we are singing that happy songs of life, happy songs of joyful songs in our heart, in our mind. We should have that always, that kind of happiness in our life. That's the way the glory of God is manifesting in our life. And we believe in that. When true parents share that their goal with us, we believe in that, and we follow our glorious heavenly parent. We followed them almost in our complete total life. We are following them. And we are, in fact, by doing that, by being truly actively and happily and joyfully involving in that, we are actually being part of God's recreation work of that original Garden of Eden. Actually, that is all about providence of restoration. That's what we are creating. We are recreating that with God, with our true parents. By following our true parents, we are recreating that. And this is about when we do our tribal Messiah work, we are trying to reach out each and every individuals for God, each and every human beings who live on this earth. We are reaching out them for God, for true parents, happily, joyfully, by singing glory to God, by praising God. We are doing that. And we are inviting everyone to have an eternal relationship with God, an everlasting relationship. Once it starts, it's never going to end. That's our goal. And here it again says, it's not just when we are happy, not just when we are really having an amazing, wonderful time, but every time in our time, even when we are in unfavorable situations, we have to be in that eternal relationship with God and bringing other people to that relationship with God. And that's what God is asking us. And that's what the tribal messiahship means. And that's what the world needs us to do. It's a really nice ceiling. Getting really warm. Yeah. Pardon? Yeah, I think I should have this. Maybe next week onwards, take out everything. Yeah, as I said, this sharing of God's joy and God's life, the life we received from God, is not just when we are happy or when we are in an amazing time, wonderful time, we sharing with our family members or our friends, but this is about sharing the sorrowful heart of God also. That also we have to share with our friends and share with our family members, and then somehow bring joy to their life. Somehow allow them to feel that from this sorrowful situation, we are supposed to bring joy back to God. Then when all of us are able to do that, once we are able to bring everyone into that relationship, that's where we all can have that eternal happiness, eternally, not for one day, for every day we can have that. And as we again see from our reading, up until now, the focus of religions were finding that eternal relationship with God for an individual. As an individual, we find our relationship with God. We find our happiness and we share our sorrows with God, and happiness and unhappiness with God as a single individual. That's what, up until now, that was the focus. But by now, that focus is changing. The advent of our true parents have changed that focus. That focus has changed from individual salvation to social salvation, or family salvation, or salvation for the tribes. And that's why one uniqueness of our religion, our church, and our movement is that we are focusing for salvation for the humanity, salvation for the entire society. And that's so unique, and that's not something very simple. And as it reads in today's scriptural reading, this is something unprecedented. There was nothing like this happened earlier. There was no concept. It was always the relationship with God was that individual relationship. Every individual have their own relationship with God. Husband and wife have their own separate relationship with God. But in divine principle, we learn that when we are a single individual, when we are a man and woman, we are not complete. We cannot have an eternal, complete relationship with God unless we are able to make an eternal commitment with our spouse. Unless we are able to work out our relationship with our spouse, with our family members, with the neighbors around us, with the people who we live with the people we work with the people we travel with. All these people, they all are children of God. They all need that eternal relationship. And that as a humanity, as one single large family, we have to make that relationship. We have to find salvation for the entire humanity. That is the commandment. That is the mandate our true parents and God has given to us. This is something unprecedented. It never happened in the history. It never happened all throughout the 6,000 years of history. Nobody even knew about that. But now we are striving to achieve that. And true parents and God told us, if you come into the front of heaven, if you are at the gate of heaven by yourself, I'm sorry, you can't enter. That kind of reply from God you can receive. That's what we are told. That's what we receive. We learn from divine principle. It's something amazing. Same time, it's something scary. We have to. It's not something simple. Oh, thank you. It's something we really have to work out. It's something we cannot really avoid. Then we say, yeah, well, I have my own relationship with God. I will deal that with God. We can't say that. God is going to say that. No, I told you, you have to take care of each other. You have to be together. I gave this principle to you. I gave this understanding to you in order for you to understand how you should be preparing yourself on this world. Oh, this is really nice. Wet. It's actually a very, very simple truth, a simple reality. We go to heaven just by ourselves. How can that be a heaven for us without our spouse, without our children, without our friends, without our neighbors? If we are all by ourselves, if we don't even know who we are with, if we never know them before, and we are never allowed to be with our spouse and our family, we will be eternally unhappy. Like when I am going away from my family for a few days, I feel very, very kind of unfulfilled kind of feeling in myself. Even though when we are sitting together, we may argue on different certain things, but that's what God asks us to do. You have different kind of talents and you have different kind of capacity. You work out, you decide, discuss together, and then you come to me. That's the reality that's the life God asks us to lead. And when we do that, we will be able to create heaven here. Not only here, in spirit world also, we will be able to have that heaven. And that's what our true parents asking us to establish. And that's what our true parents teaching us. In order to do that, I honestly believe we have to really, really strive. We have to really try our best. If we think about the reality of our everyday life, I don't think it's as good as we are kind of reading in this true parent said that heaven has to be always in your heart. But I don't think we are really leading a life like that. We are really able to do a life like that, even within our family, even within our community, even with our friends. We are not really able to do that. And we have to really change our concept. We have to really think about how other people would be thinking, how other people would be taking it, and how other people would be taking several things we would be doing in our life. And a few months back, actually I was watching a video on YouTube. I'm not a great fan of so many movies, but sometimes I watch self-help movie clips and videos, and one of these videos were very, very phenomenal to me. Actually, I shared that with some of our community leaders earlier, and I want to share with everyone. And please watch this video. It's only for around 4 minutes. Is it ready? This video clip is about different people going through different things. And sometimes, like, it was about a person going through severe kind of sickness in his life. He was, it's so many different situations this video, small clip is featuring. It's about one person trying to get an hospital appointment, but he could not get that for so many months, and nobody else know about that in his neighborhood or in his, even his friends doesn't know about that. And another person sitting in a hospital as couples like husband and wife, their 19-year-old child is terminally ill. It's going to die soon. And then another family is going to, one wife and her child is going to visit her husband to the hospital. That husband is going to die in few days. The daughter is visiting the very last moment. Nobody else know about that. And another person in that video, his wife got a heart attack. He is probably 70 plus something. He doesn't know what to do. And a fourth person or fifth person, he met an accident even after 6 months. Pain is still there. He cannot walk properly. He cannot do anything properly. In so many situations like that. But none of the people around them know about that. The world is functioning just as normal, and deep inside, each and every individual is going through different kind of sufferings. Not only sufferings, there were one young man, who had a child. He was going to have a child. He was all happy, but he's not really able to share with other people. And so many happiness and sad things, but everything is like when it comes to sadness, it is more difficult to share and more difficulty for other people to understand that. Many times I feel we are also in that kind of situation. We are here almost 300 plus families, and I don't know, all of us know each other. I believe I know everyone, but this last 2 weeks I found 2 families I never even know at all. And they weren't here for last more than 5 years. That's why I didn't know them. They were not they didn't attend Foundation Day program. So we have the most updated database we have is from that Foundation Day event. But they were not there. And then later, I talk about them. Several people know about them. But none of us really noticed they are not here, what is happening with them. Nobody knows how their life is going. And so we can miss many of our brothers and sisters very easily. These brothers and sisters, these families, I'm not saying everyone suffering or everyone struggling, but we didn't even notice that they are missing or they are not here. And they are actually children of God, children of true parents who were handpicked by true parents several years ago and trained by true parents, but somehow we miss them. We are not able to understand what is happening in their life. And we did not even bother to find what is happening in their life. I honestly believe if God give us a commandment, God told us that I choose all of you to go to heaven together. Would we be able to go to heaven if we are missing many of our brothers and sisters? I think we will miss them. We will miss the chance to go to heaven. This is about keeping our relationship and how much we are aware of our relationship, how much we are thinking about the other person, the person we live with, the person we worked with, the people we always traveling with or working with. We have to be aware what kind of life they are going through, what we can do for them. Only if we are able to really stand with them, then only we can really do something about that. Then only we can really hope for creating a better world or creating kingdom of God on earth or in heaven, only if we are able to take care of the people who already receive the blessing of true parents, already know about true parents, already know the heart of God. I want to share one Bible passage. It says, it's from Ezekiel 34:15 to 16. It says, I will feed my sheep and give them rest, declares the Lord God. I am going to seek both the lost as well as the scattered, and bring them both back so their broken bones can be set and the sick can be healed. In the Old Testament, God is again promising to Israelites while they were suffering. God is there to seek and search for the lost and the scattered, bring them back so their broken bones can be corrected, can be set, and their sicknesses can be healed. Their broken heart can be healed. That's what God is promising us. That's what God is asking the people to do that time. And the same thing we need to do today also. Several times, communities like our community, from out of 350 family, if one family is not there, we may not feel any problem. Everything going on fine, Sunday service is okay, and things are happening fine, and no one really notice. And even if we notice, we say, okay, that's okay. If they don't like to come, that's their problem. But after some time, it may be another person. Then it can be again another person. And when it becomes noticeable, it becomes unrepairable. When it becomes really visible, it may even become unrepairable. That's why we need to act. We need to really do things before it really gets worse. Before we are here to take care of people, we have to take care of within our own brothers and sisters, within our community. Then we will be able to care about all of our neighborhood, all of our community members who live around us. That needs a big artistic change, a change in the way we do things. And that's why, in order to make things a little bit easier, we are launching a system where each and every geographic area we ask some of our volunteers, some of our brothers and sisters to consciously, with purpose in their mind, reach out to everyone. Call everyone once in a month and try to have at least some kind of conversation, some kind of meeting once in a month. Without that, we can't. We may think we all are trained by true parents. We can survive no matter what happens. But we human beings, without another human being, without a society, social setup, without a group of individuals who have similar kind of thinking, similar kind of understanding, we cannot survive. We cannot survive in this world unless we are together. Unless we are unified, we cannot survive. And that's why we are together. That's the necessity of coming together and helping each other and try to find how I can help other person. What kind of help I can give it to my friend, my neighbor down the street. What kind of help I can give. Once we start giving that, we will be able to revive ourselves. We will be able to help ourselves as well as other people. Last 3 weeks, we were going through a 3-week witnessing campaign, and GPA was here with us. We were working together with GPA, and it was an amazing time we had so many guests came. Yesterday, we had 3 guests learning divine principle. And also last week's Sunday service, many of our new guests brought their relatives. So people need that. People are looking for that kind of heart-to-heart relationship. But what if, even if they come and then we don't care? What if, even if we don't even care, the people we have already here? We have to intentionally care towards each other. And I want to share a quote I received yesterday. Actually, one of our members, I usually call her, talk to her by phone, or sometimes I meet her personally. Our sister, Mrs. Elise Lambert, she sent me a quote. Just sometimes she do that. She every day send me emails. Then this quote is kind of really struck me. It says, "No one notices your tears. No one notices your sadness. No one notices your pains, but they all notice your mistakes." And many times, I felt it's so true. It's so true. We are so good in noticing what is missing or what others are not doing, why they are not doing certain conditions or certain things we are supposed to do. I'm not saying we shouldn't do that, but we all are supposed to do. But sometimes when people don't do that, we can quickly notice that. But very, very difficult to notice the pains people are going through. Very difficult to notice the tears coming down from other people. The tears flowing down. So hard to notice that. And that sadness. Sometimes we turn our face away from sadness in order to keep us alive. We turn our face away from other people's sadness. But we are not supposed to be this way. We are supposed to be going beyond this. Let us be truly, truly caring for each other so that we can really go to that heaven together. Otherwise, anyway, we can't get into that place. Even if we avoid that sad people, even if we avoid that sick people, even if we avoid that crying people, we may feel like we are not crying for a short while, but the next, we are going to be in that situation. And let's be people who are truly, truly wiping away someone's tears. It may be our children. It may be sometimes our relatives, our brothers and sisters, our blessed families who are in our community or in other communities. Let us truly do that. Let's truly wipe others' tears. Let's really try for that. And let's find what kind of sadness they are going through. Sometimes we may not even give a solution to their sadness, but let's empathize with them. Let us stand together with them. Let us be with them, even though we can't do anything sometimes. Let's at least empathize. That help a lot. That help each and everyone a lot. Even the people we may think we are happy. down the line, every one of us anything can happen to us. And let's try to heal the pains we have. Last week, during Rani's sermon, she talked about our boy, our elder son. And actually that was one reason why that video was so, I'll try to send out later, or probably many of you have watched already. It's a very popular video. And there it's a baby is on ventilator, and somebody kind of trying to take care of that baby. I was like that when after my first child born, and then he ascended. Then because of my relatives and because of my friends and because of some of our members we had in India, I was able to overcome that. I was able to not really overcome, really able to kind of survive through. And I remember one of my friend, like my classmates, like my graduate school, what do you say for that? Like that final graduate year classmates. Yeah, we are kind of 20 plus years back we graduated, but still we are very close. I remember I wasn't communicating with them very constantly, but when they heard about this, they visited my home, and then they gave me actually a big amount of money. We were actually indebted with a lot of hospital bills and everything. And then one time, I told them that actually that's a big money for them, big amount of money for them. Then I told them, oh, don't worry about this. I don't want this kind of money. Actually, I took a loan from one bank and I was repaying that. Then they told me, one of my friends said me, now you are in this position, maybe next year I can be same like you. And we need to be together. And if we help each other, we can survive together. And without that, nobody can survive. And I feel we as a community, if we try to be together in our sadnesses, in our pains, when we have tears, when we try to be together, try to wipe our tears together, try to heal our pains together, try to share our sadness, and try to share our happiness together, then we can go forward together. Then we can bring amazing people back to glory of God. Last week, I was with one of our new brother who came to our church. I don't know, he's here today. He was planning to come. Then he told me that he needs a lot of support. He needs a lot of people to talk, share his difficulties. And when we are able to do that, we are really, really saving people, bringing the love of God, bringing the healing of God, and bringing that amazing healing God is providing to people. God promised so many thousands of years back. There is no other way God can heal people unless we are ready for that. Unless we agree with God. I am here to help you, God. I am here to help heal your children. When we do that, we can heal the world. And this week, our true mother is coming back to East Coast. The reason why she is coming is to reach out to all of us. When we had our meeting in Las Vegas, Bishop Kim shared that true mother asked certain people she know personally by name, several times she asked about how are those families doing, things like that. And let us be that way. When this week, let's try to call everyone, invite everyone, so that we can really be a healing to other people. Don't ask them to do anything. Just be a person who can reach out. Just be a person who is kind of really bringing the love of God to our other community members. And also, you maybe get a call, not this week, probably within 1 or 2 weeks, by an assigned person from each and every one of your geographic area. And we are trying to make a community system through which we can somehow stimulate that active communal relationship, active interaction within our community, so that we can always work together. We may be doing things differently. We may be in different situations, in different planes. No matter what, we are children of God. We are anointed by true parents. And let us treat each other in that way. May God bless you. Thank you so much for all of your presence here. I really appreciate. Thank you. May God bless you.